You know, back then in Southern California, we listened to a lot of like new wave music. Um, my buddies and I, we listened to a lot of ska music, Toy Dolls, Susie and the Banshees, stuff that was not like popular at all. Like it was a lot of like fast beat stuff because it was kind of got us pumped up. I can remember we'd play like tapes of um, popular music, not popular music, but we would. My friend had like a big boom box, and he had a bunch of really cool albums, and he would record them on cassette tapes, and then we would just play those whenever we were on my friend's half pipe in his backyard. And so he had like a lot of. One of our favorites was the group called X, and also just a lot of English bands. The Fishbone was another popular one, and that kind of like went along with our skating. Most of what we listen to is a little more mellow. Like I said, ska music, even some reggae music, some new wave kind of stuff. Pretty mellow stuff, but fast enough to keep us like motivated to keep trying to shred. Back then, skating wasn't popular at all. Like it wasn't. There was no official skating leagues, or like you couldn't find skateboards at Walmart. It was like you had to go like skate shops and surf shops to get skateboard stuff. And so, you know, back then, it wasn't like something that a lot of kids did. It was more. We wore a lot of like baggy stuff, you know, like really baggy shorts, a lot of bright colors, kind of like surfing gear, but not really expensive stuff either. Like a lot of my buddies, they just wore like white T-shirts and cut off shorts. I mean, people like didn't pay a lot of money to get really specialized skate clothing. Back then, the Bones Brigade was the best. That was in the heyday of Pal Peralta with Lance Mountain, Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero, Mike McGill. The Bones Brigade was the coolest thing. And so there was the Bones Brigade, there was the Search for Animal Chin, and those are videos we would watch over and over and over again. You know, I'd say the 1980s, especially the mid to late 80s, were a time when America was prosperous. We were defeating the communists. It was a pretty happy time, as I recall. And skating was kind of like that. Even though skating wasn't part of the popular culture, it was certainly a reflection of where America was as a country. Positive, upbeat, lots of innovation at that time. You know, with Tony Hawk perfecting his 360s. I guess that came a little bit later, but Lance Mountain getting huge air, Mike McGill doing the McTwists. Lots of new tricks were devised around that time. I think it was just a reflection of America's innovation and greatness that was happening just on a world stage at the time. If you're going to be a good skater, you got to be hardcore all the way, going full out, not being afraid, trying to do new things, trying to push yourself all the way, extremes, and that's the way the music was too. Just fast, hard, and upbeat and happy. Skate and destroy. Skateboarding is not a crime.